Football Friday has landed on us once more, and I'm not alone today. I'm looking to my right, and I see a chunky ninja in the house. Ahoy, sailor.
Hola.
Holla to you, sir, as well. I hope you've had a tremendous week rocking and rolling with all those cool things that have been going on around the world. As it's dark here already, dude. It's actually dark. We have brought a chunky ninja up to the office. He is currently sat in the chair, working away, as he's doing all our big graphical updates for the stream, for the YouTube channel, for Twitch. All that stuff is going on, and he is doing it for us right now. He's been working on it for a couple of months now. A good couple of months. And we're putting it all together for you. So we hopefully will have that up and running for you soon. That should be good and awesome. So welcome to you all. I hope you had a great week. We've been playing The Outer Worlds. If you're looking for an RPG, you're an RPG kind of guy, you want an old school, properly done RPG, cannot recommend it enough. Absolutely tremendous game. We were Judge Dredd. We brought law to the lawless, is how I would describe it. We brought law to the lawless. There were some bad people out in that world. Bad people. And they needed to be corrected. Yes, you can see the emote spam there. We had to correct some of those issues. I'm seeing some drama already in the chat. I've been ninja 20 times the last 3 months of Classic. Pretty incredible. Yes, indeed. Chunky Ninja, you will recognize in the chat, has been here regularly. If you've been to PreachCon, you've no doubt had a beer with him at some points in the past. He does like a beverage with the team. He is a good man for doing all those kinds of things. So look forward to that in the near future. It should be good. But that's not why you're here today. Although, look, I'm going to say it on Drama Time. You guys, probably not you guys, but YouTube general audience, you got me in trouble. You didn't get me in trouble with MMO Champion. You didn't get me in trouble with Reddit, although there were threads there regarding this. You fuckers. And I was innocent in this, but of course I've got to deal with it. You guys got me in trouble with the Raiders. The Raiders, the Quiet, the Basement Dwellers, the Sans Girlfrienders, which is what people presume. You got me in trouble with the Raiders. Look, listen to me. If you've never raid tested a boss in your life, stop telling me what raid testing bosses is like, please. Because it doesn't upset me. I'm fine. You think you know what it's like, so you make a judgment based on that. That's fine. But you upset the Raiders. And it's not easy to rattle the Raiders. It's not easy to rattle the Raiders. But when I wake up to Discord full of messages, DMs saying, are people actually like that? I'm like, they just don't know any better. It's fine. It's fine. And I ended up with the shit. Like, piss on that, dude. Piss on that. Right. Let's get into Drama Time. I've got a whole wealth of stories here, including apparently it is indeed possible to have too many girls in a guild. But before that, apparently shit got real. Now, before we did the story A Tale of Two Raids last week, our author did warn us that several people who view Drama Time are in their guild, and the likelihood was that they would recognize themselves, especially with such an obscene loot system that we discovered last week that exists apparently out in the world. Now we have an update. I'm going to read through this. It's very brief, but it's just a little update. But actually, it's comedy gold. So, we had, of course, the GM of the guild who wrote the loot system. You might remember. And then if you weren't here last week, we had a Molten Core classic raiding guild that came up with an obscene loot system that required like 4 pages of documentation in order to make this loot system seem somewhat reasonable. It wasn't. And then, obviously, people got tired of it. They broke off, made their own guild. And their own guild that didn't have any of this bullshit that came with it sped through the raids. Easy. Cleared them way faster than Team 1 that was having to stop and start and figure out all the loot rules. So anyway. Dear Preacher of the Chat, here's an update for you. As you can imagine, our author did not get picked. This is important. Did not get picked to join the new cool guild. The Cool Guys Guild that was speeding through all the loot and all the raids and getting everything they wanted. He didn't get picked. Unluck. Didn't get to go. He had to stay in the original guild with the crazy loot system. As you can imagine, he says to us, as you can imagine, I sit here as the other guild, which he's described as separatists, are speeding through raids, smashing us to pieces. And he will say this. The GM of the original guild, after reading and listening to Drama Time, realized that the loot rules were shit. Okay? The loot rules were shit. Now, they have sent updated loot rules, but I don't really want to get into that. But there's an updated loot rule system. However, the hunt was on. The hunt was on. Who wrote the story? Who exposed this loot system? Who was the masked man behind the grassy knoll that brought it all to its fucking knees? All right. Who was it? Who is the whistleblower? Relevant, right? Who was the whistleblower? Who's the whistleblower? So, you might remember there was a ton of officers in that original guild. There was a ton of officers involved in that. And the officers started to question people. Was it you? And as you can imagine, it was only one person, so most people just went, no. Do you know who wrote it? No. It was you, wasn't it? No. Deny, 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 as the officers went through the likely suspects. Who would betray us? Who would do this? Because, of course, it can only be one of the remaining members of the original guild. It must be one of those. It wouldn't be one of the other players. He describes it, as some of my chat has rightly pointed out, as an inquisition. Interviews were held. Private Discord channels were set up. Who was it? Confess. Confess. He says, the Inquisition continued last night, for whenever he wrote this, through a long and painful failure of an Onyxia raid. As we departed to pay our repair bills and sulk, our GM dropped the hammer. We have discovered the identity of our little Drama Time author. Busted. Busted. Would they like to own up before we expose them? Our author says, my heart jumped into my throat. Part of me wanted to confess, throw myself at the mercy of the officers, as I would have no other guild to go to. Another part wanted to alt F4, turn off my phone, and disappear into the ether. But I went with the it wasn't me play, and I just sat there quietly, watching my little orc ride his bat across the barrens, through what felt like minutes of silence. Fine, the GM says. Get the hell out of my guild, and just so you know, I have given your name to all the other GMs on the server. You are done. Remember, this is classic. We're not name changing. We're not realm swapping. You're stuck. And with that, she booted out a warlock called Chunky Ninja and banned him from Discord. My relief. My relief. My relief was extreme. Chunky Ninja was a terrible player and kind of a dickhead. Says that in the story, mate. That's not me.
How very dare you.
Honestly, it felt like a huge win. A huge, huge win. Not only was our guy innocent, but we also lost a bad player. Unfortunately, chat, as you all celebrate, victory turned to ashes in my mouth. I had no idea that your story was a smash hit on the other guild's Discord. Like my GM, the other GM and his officers had also been hunting for the Drama Time author. Combining our raid roster to figure out the identity of the mysterious individual who recognized their natural supremacy from the story. And when they learned it was Chunky Ninja, he got an instant invite to the Better Guild. All I had to do was own up. All I had to do was confess. Throw in a G quit for the prize. And I could have had everything I wanted. But I didn't. I stayed quiet. So as I sit here writing this very evening, Chunky Ninja will be blitzing Molten Core in a 2-hour blaze of easy kills and free loot. And me, I'm going to be farming Dark Iron residue to improve my contribution points to the loot system. Fuck my life. Thanks. Oh. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, you have thrown that innocent party right under the bus. Who you no doubt, whoever Chunky Ninja is in the real world is probably joined that guild and has played that up like a motherfucker. He's like, yeah, I wrote it. I thought, fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, I was well writing that story. It was bullshit what was going on. Yeah, I'm kind of a hero. I get it. I'm kind of a big hero. I know what's going on. Or perhaps this is all a double play. And in fact, it was the correct person. Although I can confirm the story came from the same email. So there you go. There you go. 5 head, maybe. Could be 8-way chess. Who knows, man? Who knows what's going on? But still, thanks for the update. And thank you all, members of both guilds, for enjoying Drama Time. We enjoy it quite a lot too. All right, too many girls. Honestly, I read through this before the show started. This makes my fucking head hurt. And guys, you're along with me for the ride. Because this is just... I don't fucking know, man. I don't know how you girls get through a day. Fucking blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. Right. We need a male prop paladin. Let's check out a little Patreon list here. We will have Greg. And we need 2 girls. Let's have Steph. I'll have Sarah, or Sarah, whichever pronunciation you prefer. That should do just nicely. And I believe, if I remember correctly, I need 2 guild names from our live audience. Oh yeah, I did do 2 wrong. 2 guild names from our live audience. We need a guild name that has a Harry Potter theme and an edgy guild name. So Harry Potter theme and an edgy guild name. Live chat. All right. Well, I will take dibs. Although it's not edgy, it's the best. I like it. What have we got? The Goblet of Edgelord. Dumbledoofus. Yeah, Dumbledoofus will do. Dumbledoofus. Perfect. Okay, we've got dibs and Dumbledoofus. All right, then. Hi, Mike. You should know I'm a girl. Gotcha. Apologies if my English sucks. Second language, smiley face, confirmed written by a girl. There is not a guy who's ever sent me a story to Drama Time that does not have a smiley face emoji. This does in the second line, confirmed. Today I've got a story mainly about cultural differences, mythic raiding, and too many girls in the guild. All right. Are you ready? Ready? The setting. Cast your mind back to a better time, chat. To when the world was green, and the mobs were green, and everything was green, and there were all many oranges. Legion. I've been raiding with this guild since the start of Warlords of Draenor. I raided as a hunter in Warlords, but decided I should roll to Mistweaver Monk. Good job. I always had 100% attendance in WoD and above average logs. What's above average? Above average. In WoD, we had 2 main tanks. They were solid. When one of them wanted to go deeps, an officer, we found ourselves without a steady tank team. Tricky. We recruited Greg and his wife, a holy priest. Greg was a male prot paladin. The priest, a decent player. Greg, though, no. Not only did he struggle with English, from being from somewhere in Eastern Europe, but he just took ages to learn tactics. He was a middle-aged father of 2, and for the biggest problem we had with him, because of the language barrier, was tank swapping. He found it hard, and he was slow to react. Enter the Emerald Nightmare. Super hyped to play a brand new class and role. Go through heroic, no issues. Easy life. But then mythic. We couldn't really discuss tactics with Greg. He didn't understand what we were saying. To try and simplify things, we invented a tank swapping code word for the Nightmare Dragons. For fun, we made the safe word banana. Banana. As he understood banana, apparently not taunt though. Apparently not taunt. Banana. We're going with banana. He did not like criticism. Did not like us trying to give him advice. He especially did not like this coming from our female rep paladin, Steph, who was a great player. As a matter of fact, it turned out he didn't like us talking at all. Eventually, his wife explained that this was because myself and Steph were single women who must be loose because we hadn't found a boyfriend yet and therefore should not really be speaking. Now that's science, honestly. Have we got any truers in the chat? We got any truers? We got any truers? Yeah? Yes! Yes! Our dear Banana Din was a serious misogynist. And his wife supported him. Because she's not single. So, again, the science proves it out. I mean, if we're to look at this as examples, it all makes perfect sense. Steph and I tried to tell our officer team and the GM that he was being incredibly condescending and rude to us. This was not news. They already knew. But there's a problem. He does attend every raid. You've got to give him that. You got to give him that. You can't take that away from him. You really can't. And he's a tank. So, like, what are you supposed to do? No. You can't just recruit a new tank. We have a tank. And he always turns up. Therefore, everything is good. The old tank, who'd now gone DPS, did not like what was going on at all. But was outvoted in the officer team democratic vote to kick the prop paladin. Steph and I were told that the solution was simple. Mute him. Pretend he doesn't exist. This was pretty difficult, especially for me, who was assigned to be his primary healer. It would be important for me to know when he was tanking and taunting everything in the room. Eventually it got too much. You'll be glad to hear. Eventually it got too much. And the officer team realized how he was treating some of the long-time members and decided to give him a choice. Look, Greg, you can go retribution or you can go social. Because we, as women, had started this, he decided to leave. Which meant, of course, his wife must leave as well. Good solution. Steph and I, of course, were happy. We thought things would go back to how they were in Walls of Draenor. Our ex-tank officer was still around. He could just put his tanking shoes on until we found a new tank. Nope. Wrong. No. Our beloved female Mistweaver monk, Sarah, was quite fond of Greg. Steph and I suspected he was nice to her because she was in a relationship and was living with her partner, who was the male healing officer. She was also quiet in raids and never spoke up to him. What a good girl. I like this girl. She's got a fella. She's living at home. She doesn't talk back. What a lass, right? Oh, yeah, what a great woman. Love her. She never said a fucking word. Oh, what a girl. What a girl. Oh, yeah, I could spend all day with her and never have to talk to her. What a fucking dream. She was pissed with us. And now we'd lost the tank. And the healing officer had to ignore us too. Because otherwise, she would be angry. Sarah thought Steph and I were racists. I know, that came out of nowhere, didn't it? But you must understand that although we thought Greg was from Eastern Europe, it turns out he was from Dubai. And the only reason we wanted rid of Greg is we couldn't tolerate cultural differences. Right? That's what it is. That's what it is. It's a lack of tolerance. So shut your fucking mouth and make me a sandwich. And be tolerant. Be tolerant. It must be. It's the only possible reason. Now, girls being girls, we decided we should never talk it out. Sarah never talked to Steph or me ever again after this. Her and her officer boyfriend started to exclude us from M+ and other activities. We had our own groups to hang with though, so we hoped it'll just blow over eventually. Trial of Valor though. It releases. We never even got to Mythic before the tension between the girls became a problem. That problem? Blessing of Wisdom. Yes, this is what's going to be the straw on that camel's back. Blessing of Wisdom. Now, Steph, who's a rep paladin, wanted to give me Blessing of Wisdom because our other healing officer had called dibs on Innovate from one Moonkin, and Sarah had called dibs from the other Moonkin. I thought it was then fair that I should be the chosen one to receive Blessing of Wisdom. Our healing officer disagreed, as he was officer, and began commanding that Steph must give him Blessing of Wisdom, as he would be geared up first, ergo it would be more useful. This went on for several raids. Ultimately, Steph couldn't give a fuck anymore about Blessing of fucking Wisdom and just quit the game right in the middle. I lost my best friend in WoW. I was alienated by most people in the guild. I was upset with Sarah and her boyfriend for bullying my friend to quit the game over Blessing of fucking Wisdom. They, of course, ignored me and said, I'm just being dramatic because I'm lonely. You need to find yourself a partner real quick, you lonely cow, after your Blessing of Wisdom. It's not a friend, you know. Blessing of Wisdom isn't a friend. You need to find yourself a good friend and stop banging on about this Blessing of Wisdom you're always going on about. That's what you need to do. In the middle of Mythic Nighthold, raiding became so bad for me I had to quit the game. I tried raiding in other guilds, but my old guild, that was my home. I wanted to play WoW again. I needed to play WoW again. And I wanted to come back to the same guild. Why? The fuck? Why? Luckily for me, Sarah had quit the game. The guild said no. Some people just remembered the wars over Blessing of Wisdom and didn't want me back. I persisted for about 7 months. Why? Why? Tell me why. The fuck? To be let back into the guild. Now, Mike, you may not agree with my choice of going back to them. No! No, I don't at all. But they've been my friends for many years. We'd even gone to BlizzCon together. Through all this, they had removed me from the guild Facebook group. But now I can tell you, Sarah, Steph and I, we're on good terms. I was re-added to the Facebook group. That's a big one. That's a big day. Unfortunately, we never heard from Greg or his wife again. That's my little story of my most difficult 7 months in WoW I ever had. It could have been like an hour. It could have been an hour. These days it's a meme in the guild, but it was not a fun time. And I feel sorry for every officer who had to deal with it. Thank you for your streams. I hope to see you at PreachCon next year. Same. Make sure you tell me it's you. That's all I ask, is make sure you tell me it's you. That's all I want. Easy pickings. That's what I want to have. Right. I want... Let me make sure I got the right one. Because there's a ridiculous story I want you guys to hear. Is it this one? Yeah, okay. This is the one. Sorry, I got like 7 really good juicy drama stories this week. So I want to make sure we get as many as possible. And if not, we'll do it again. Add them in another show. Easy. Retailer goes classic. Right, this one requires your judgment. I need the judge. I need the judges and the jury all over this one. I need my audience to carry this. Guilty. Right, I don't think we need the names yet. Instantly guilty. Oh my god. Instantly guilty. Okay. You guys do not fuck around at all. Oh, I've lost it. I'm a fucking noob. Okay. Holla ballers! And a good evening, morning to you, depending on those pesky time zones you hail from. Let me hit you with some story. Now, this drama was caused by me. Not me, the author. And my little story and mini-drama that I've had in classic World of Warcraft, which, as we've seen from the chat before we started, is full of it as people are ninjaing and taking all sorts. And of course, our author has been told they are the ninja. Others think it's just a misunderstanding. I want to know what your audience thinks. Okay. She requests, audience, don your powdered wigs and bang your gavels. Drama time court is in session. That's a good one, Chunky Ninja. Court.
Court is in session.
Court is in session. Coming from retail was not as hard as my pals made it sound to be, surprisingly. I understood it was going to be slower. I understood that gear would be more meaningful. Reputation to your name counts for something. Now I joined a guild that was a YouTuber guild. In USA. It's not me. It's not me. It's a US RP guild. RP PvP. Alright? RP PvP. With a surprising lack, as I found out, of ERP. Oh. Now I wrestled. What should I play? Rogue for juicy backstabs. Mage for food and water. Great AoE. I say nay! I say nay to all of these things. I'm going hard mode. Orc Warrior. I will take up the sword and board and do the job that people complain about. Not having but wants it all the time. I will be a tank. Also being an RP PvP server, this orc is named and played as after the biggest orc war boss in Warhammer 40k and will lead a great war on Stormwind. RPers. Here we go. Now, I heard of warrior leveling being bad. I heard the horror stories and the nightmares. Now, while it was slow, extremely slow, It wasn't terrible. I was being harassed tooth and nail for tanking dungeons, and it was nice. I also chose to be a minor blacksmith, armorsmith, and ended up being the only blacksmith in my whole guild, as they were focusing on the upcoming PvP. It was all skinners, enchanters, and engineers. Now, a certain horde guild on this server is a private realm guild. And their mission, quite openly, is to have complete control over the server. With their years and years of classic experience and knowledge, they told us they chose this RP realm. Why? Because RP players are fucking garbo. And we can't compete with the giant guilds on the giant servers. Now, this made the leveling process slower, but it was a story for another time. I evaded Hillsbrad like the plague, as even before Honor it was nothing but Gankfest City. So I spent a lot of time in Ashenvale, into Arathi. As while I do enjoy some PvP, I do not see camping lobies under half your level as PvP. And I like raiding much, much more. I'm doing a show, buddy. You alright?
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, I'll be out soon. Okay. About 8 weeks ago, my original guild decided to merge with another guild that was friends with this YouTuber from back in a different MMO called Darkfall. Now, the guild we were merging with, wait for it, dramatic pause, they self-describe as super hardcore. They are especially super hardcore about PvP. Everything they do, domination. This is what it says. They mock me constantly. They make fun of me for not taking part 24/7. Because to them, PvP is everything. There is nothing else. There is only this. Anybody not taking part is a pussy. Are you a pussy? Then why aren't you ganking people all the time, all day, all night? You are bad, mate. You are bad. But occasionally, they do help. And they're honestly good guys once you break through the PvP persona. They helped me along the path. They gave me 600 gold worth of thorium and other things to get me my 300 blacksmithing, along with one guildie who is an auction house goblin. He uses TSM. Ooh. He found an Axe of the Deep Woods. How much is Axe of the Deep Woods on your guys' servers? you got a number for that? He found an Axe of the Deep Woods for 1 copper on the neutral auction house. A member of the other guild was trying to transfer it from Allied to Horde, and he got sniped. And he sold it me for 75G as a kindness when the market was about 200 plus. And I couldn't be more grateful. And this is where the mini drama kind of starts, as we finally hit level 60 and got prepared for that molten of core. Is that door fully closed, dude? Yeah. Now, the Uber Mega Control Guild has a fuck you, got mine mentality. They screw with everyone over with the world buff from Onyxia. They use it at random times just to make sure other raids can't get it, and only they can get it. They didn't put the guild mine raided with in a very good mood. As we were all not in the same guild, we were merged. We had a co-raid, you see. 18 players from my guild, 22 players from the other guild. And as you can imagine, with a co-raid across 2 guilds, with one of them being super hardcore, There were rules on the loot. Now, it's not as complicated as you might have seen in the past. It's not as complicated as that. It's a very simple system, see? No documentation, nothing like that. It's a very simple system, guys. Like, if you can't get this right, you're just dumb. You ready? We have a soft reserve system. A 2-piece soft reserve system. When you sign up, there is a spreadsheet. When you sign up, what do you mean, what? You guys don't know the 2-item soft reserve system? What are you, casuals? Idiots. You can write down 2 items that you reserve. If those item drops, they are yours unless somebody else also reserved that item, and then you roll. As the Super Hardcore Guild considered themselves the primary hosts, because they had 22 players, they get all the cores and all the leathers, completely screwing yours truly out of thorium rep, because balls to getting 2400 dark iron ore at 10G a pop, and their blacksmith, after 2 weeks of getting all this stuff, still has yet to make 1 single piece of dark iron. Their main tank that they provide can only just get 200 fire resist while wearing cloth and mail armor, while I was sitting pretty at 330. But I digress. Though we apparently are going to be getting a cut of the gold once it starts rolling in. Yeah. I guarantee. Oh, that's coming. You just check the post, bro, in an hour. It's definitely going to be there. Oh, yeah. Loads of gold. Just so much gold. You won't even believe it. Now, the loot system seems fair. Everyone selects 2 pieces they guarantee for themselves, and to the victor goes the spoils. Simple as that. Now, you might imagine, or an obvious question that might come up, what about all the stuff people didn't reserve? As you can probably guess, people are chasing big items, Obsidian Edge Blade, Bone Reaver's Edge, Perdition's Blade, and so on and so forth. They're probably not going out of their way for Night Slayer braces and things like that. Well, there was nothing written. There was nothing said. So we assumed that if nobody had reserved it, it's free game. No. You see, there's a very important line to draw. No one, and I mean no one, shall receive more than 2 items per run under any circumstances. That would just be plain unfair. A strict 2-item limit is enforced so that everybody gets a chance at loot, and one person can't get everything, right? Nice and easy. So, for example, let's say you reserve loot on Lucifron and it drops, and then a BOE drops. You should not roll for it. You might need it and nobody else wants it, but do not ask for it. Because if you get it, that's you fucked for the week. That's it. That's the end of the story. So here enters my little drama that is still going 2 weeks after the raid. I reserved Gauntlets of Might and the Drill Borer's Disc, like any tank would. Raid's going fine. Boom, the gauntlets drop. I'm pretty happy. I get them. It's good. Then we get to the Corehound boss and a necklace drops, and no one had reserved it. I had a little blue necklace on. So, it's just sat there. Who wants? I rolled for it. It is a decent upgrade. It's not the best, but it's alright. Better than disenchanting. So I got it. Sweet. Cool. Then we come up to Gar. Fight goes smooth. We had 8 mages and 4 locks that day. And what do I see but the drill borer disc? There she blows. Me and the other guild's tank, of course, who we'd both reserved it. Give it a roll. She gets 68. I smash it out of the park with a 95. Boom. Into my bags it go. Slap it on my character. Ready for action. Easy. 3 minutes later. Just 3 little minutes. The raid leader. Uh-oh. Wait. Whoa. Did you equip that shield? Obviously, you can see it on my character. Yeah, I responded. Oh, no. Shit. Fuck, was the response I heard. Raid called to a halt. Stop! Everybody. We need to talk about the 2-item limit that we have on this raid, and that you, author, have 3 items. And 3 is more than 2. And 2 is the limit. Do the math. The other tank from the host guild was not just upset. He apparently was nearly in tears that the shield had been taken from his mitts. And they were ready to call the whole raid and never play together again. Now I understand. The math does check out. Now I understand why they do want to limit people so they don't feel cheated. But nobody wanted this necklace. It's not even BIS. It was just going to be DE'd. How am I being a ninja? Was it a misunderstanding? She's asking you guys now, this live audience I have here. Was it just a misunderstanding, as they never once really stressed this hard 2-item limit per run? What also didn't help this situation was a few days after this, we also run a Nixia with these guys. But because of their main host status, 22 players versus 18, they reserve the rights to the head and the scales above our guild. Well, we finally, after weeks of farming, managed to get our shaman the skinning dagger, so we could now host our own Anixia runs and reserve these things for ourselves. Now, we never told the other guild that we were going to start breaking up Anixia to do our own, and they found out while we were trying to form a pug for the remaining spots. This put our GMs to war. An awkward convo ensued where the discussion of why none of our guild was ever to be entitled to the rewards from Anixia's head probably wasn't going to work long term. Our melee folk needed those necklaces. Our warriors needed those necklaces, including me, who had to take a different necklace that they didn't need because they were getting the Anixia heads. This classic loot system, dudes, it's big news. I guess they're going to open up and now we're going to roll the head was the agreement we had. Everybody's so greedy in Classic, it's unbelievable. So, I put it to your chat. As I'm still facing the consequences of this night, was we, the arseholes, did we just understand the loot rules, or misunderstand, that were laid down? It's caused a terrible tension, as on the raid sign-up, their tank for reserve loot just has shield in capital letters. Oh my god. Shield in capital letters, unhappy smiley face. I mean, that's when you know it's got real. On the reserve loot, there's an unhappy smiley face. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's making me feel odd with all the Eisman whispers I get when people ask why he's put the unhappy smiley. As always, keep being awesome. And chat, please behave. Classic has been so fun having to work my way up and have a BIS list. And now to get some massive world PvP battles. Take care from Team USA. And hope you guys stay awesome. Don't forget to crack some filthy Alliance skulls. Chunky Ninja, your thoughts?
I think...
Did you kill that PC?
It's killed itself, I think.
He's broke the PC.
I've broken it. I don't know what happened.
I can hear a noise.
I know. The fans are going crazy.
Oh, I'd hold down that off button if I were you. I think that needs a reset. He's killed the PC.
I know. I was just innocent.
He's only been here like 3 hours.
I don't know where the button is.
In the middle.
In the middle.
It's the same case as mine, it's there. Any judgment on this? Before I have to buy another computer. Support us on Patreon, by the way. Alright, I leave it to chat. You sacked. The chat has fired you.
The biggest Bible thump is I didn't say what I was working on.
Oh, it's autosave. Don't worry about it. It's autosave. Don't worry about it. Lost all the afternoon's work. Fuck me. Fuck me. Fire. Guilty. Guilty. All right. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty all the way through from our wonderful people here. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty. All right. So you got big guilt there. Unluck for you, sir. Big, big guilt. Innocent? Oh, Hellpipe Squishy standing up for you. Innocent, innocent, innocent. Guilty ninja. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's move on. Can't believe you broke the PC. You're going to need the password now, aren't you? Fucking hell. What a fucking world. I don't know what to do, chat. It's an hard time. All right. Why do you have a password? Can't imagine any reason to password protect PCs worth several £1,000s. No idea. What a mystery this all is. Huzzah! Great success. Great success. Okay. Just because your PCs has jumped up Xbox One, Shalena, don't come in here giving me abuse, right? Don't come in here giving me abuse just because you've got that. All right, name box. They're inside my home. Yeah, but people can get in your house. There's people that do that. They do that. Okay. So I need, for this Harry Potter dream that we're joining here, a male blood elf rogue, Sandy. Perfect. Female undead warlock. I can only see Sarah right now in the girls' names of the ones who are due. Male blood elf paladin. Oh, Rich. I'm going to dream that that's Rich Campbell. He strikes me as somebody who plays a female blood elf paladin. All right. And we have our names. Sarah overused twice. Twice. Yeah, true. True. Big truths. Okay. Here we go. A big old sweaty, hairy knuckle brofist to you, sir. Well, I'm not sweating, but there you go. I write to you from Team USA in the soggy, evergreen state of Washington. Long time viewer, first time right here. I bring to you a drama story from the old days, Boomer Town, that spans from the times of late the Burning Crusade all the way through mid-Wrath of the Lich King. I personally started playing World of Warcraft in that vanilla during the Battlegrounds patch, and I have been a Blizzard fanboy since I was a wee boy of 8. In 1994, God, that sounds dead old now, doesn't it? My good friend in school introduced me to Warcraft 2, and it was all over from there. I was in. I have played every single game Blizzard has released. Now, introductions aside, let's bring on the beef. Big Washington State. During the days of the Burning Crusade, I re-rolled on a new server to play with some IRL friends, and I cannot express to you just how fucking shit this server was. It was so bad that it was only known how bad it was by the people that played on it. Our server was so bad that it had 0 bants in it. There was no fun on the forums. There was no fun to be had in the open world. There was barely anybody in existence on my little server. It was called, I don't even know if I can pronounce this server, Tortheldrin? That sounds elvish. Tortheldrin. The 4 of us who were leveling through the Arathi Highlands when we came across a fellow Hordey, a level 40-ish something shaman, getting absolutely gangstered by 3 Alliance, which was strange because the Horde outnumbered the Alliance 10-1 in this realm. So naturally we stepped in and cut some heads off the Alliance dogs. And afterwards, we all got an invite to a Harry Potter-inspired guild, the Dumbledoofus, with this shaman. We continued leveling together for about a week before all 3 of my IRL friends said this server was too shit and went back to their original servers. I, however, didn't. I quite liked Dumble Doofus. I liked the people there. I was making friends. 3 of them I'm still friends with to this day. We've even become IRL friends. In fact, I got ordained as a minister to officiate one of their weddings a couple of months ago. So instead of leaving old Tortheldrin, I decided the best play was to pay money and transfer my characters to Tortheldrin. It's not a smart play, dude. It's not a smart play. All your friends to tell you how bad it is, and you're like, well, I'm on my way, dudes. Look out. Tortheldrin. I don't know. Some elf shit. I don't know. Now, Preacher, I fucking love Dumble Doofus. They were so fun to be in. But I would be lying. I would be giving your chat the wrong impression if I even for a second tried to describe them as a good guild. Our core raid team was the worst. This is not a lie. We did not manage to clear Karazhan until the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch. That's fucking sad, dude. I mean, that's like, even in like Sunwell gear, even in Sunwell badge gear, you can't do Karazhan. Oh, I mean, where do them meteors drop on Prince? Like, where do they come from? Who knows? How do we do it? How do we do it? But now, onwards to Wrath of the Lich King. Forget about Karazhan. It was clearly for the elites. That's the problem. It was clearly for the elites. We'll move to Wrath of the Lich King. Things will get better. I was slow getting my first character to level 80. I want to say it took me over a month. Any times? 70 to 80? 1 day, 6 hours, I think, for me.
I mean, I started playing in Wrath. I'm a Wrath baby.
Oh, shut the fuck up then. Your opinion doesn't
And
count.
Shut
Up, I said. Wrath babies do not speak in this office, sir. You will watch your mouth. Watch your fucking mouth. A week? Yeah. We had to be there next day. There'll be no Wrath babies in this fucking audience, alright? There'll be no Wrath babies in this room. I will forget you said that. After the release of Wrath, pretty quickly, half our guild quit. The good players went to other guilds, or the other players stopped playing because Wrath was just too much for them to learn. Oh. Poor old Wrath and all its mechanics. Ultimately, we had to disband Dumble Doofus. And our GM decided that in order to up recruitment, we needed to have an edgier guild name. Which I quote, that was his phrasing, an edgier guild name would bring in far more players. Now, the edgy guild name my live chat has chosen is Dibs. Which is pretty edgy, I suppose. Dibs. So we renamed to Dibs in order to attract more players. Not to worry, though. Dibs was at the ready. Dibs comes with a new philosophy, a new mindset, a new power. We're to run heroics all day to get our gear score up to an acceptable number so we can form a raid and enter Naxxramas. Yes, we managed to find 10 players in order to get into Naxxramas. But Naxxramas proved too much. I can say this with confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Dibs managed to get the Arachnid Quarter on farm. But that's it. The Arachnid Quarter is on farm. That doesn't mean we weren't able to kill the other bosses. We were, on some weeks, able to kill the bosses of the military quarter. Sometimes the plague quarter. Somewhat regularly. But wins were not always guaranteed outside of the Arachnid Quarter. We knew that was where our progress lied. However, Our biggest hurdle. Our biggest hurdle. Any guesses? I'll give you a clue. It's in the construct quarter. What's in the construct quarter? Patchwork? Thaddeus? The dog? Gluth? Grobulus? Yes? That makes sense?
I didn't do Naxxramas.
Jesus fucking Christ. It's not even done Naxxramas. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Is Heigen in there? No, I think that's right. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Which boss is the struggle then? The construct quarter was a different story. We could kill Patchwork, no problem. However, and I know you won't believe me, but this is true. The boss we never could kill, not a single time, and I mean never. We never progressed past this boss throughout the entire Wrath of the Lich King, was Grobulus. One reason was that our main tank had unbinded backpedal, as he heard it was bad, but he still couldn't strafe, and would end up going in circles. That's really funny. Can you imagine some tank just going round in a circle? At one point, we even had the suggestion as a team that even the melee should just use ranged weapons, so that it didn't matter as much and we could just spam heal the tank. I want to be in the room. I would give anything to be in this room. I would give so much to be in this room. I would love to be in that raid. Oh my god. But now enter the real drama, of course. My best friend in Dibs, and still my best friend to this day, was a rogue. And one day, called Sandy. And one day, him and I are just rocking some twos, mate. Bit of twos. Want to do some twos? Want to do twos?
PvP, mate.
PvP, we'll do some twos, mate. Me and you. Yeah, mate. Gonna do some twos. We're playing Rogue Disc Priest. One hell of a twos team. Big twos. And we weren't half bad. Considering how bad the rest of Dibs were, our twos rating was pretty respectable. Rocking about 1900. In parentheses, fuck you, chat. I know it's not top 1%, but at least we're not horrible, right? And that's for those of you who've already started, yeah, like Serenius, who's already memeing 1900 immediately without even questioning it. Like, lols. As we were doing our weekly matches, our twos, mate, doing our twos, a warlock named Sarah popped into our vent channel. Any girls that are watching, and I know we have a large female audience for drama, I really apologize for this sentence. This sentence is so bad, I actually ran it past Chunky Ninja before I read this out. Okay? I'm really sorry. I did not write this. A warlock named Sarah popped into our vent channel, and I heard a voice. One of those voices that you never forget. It was the stereotypical voice of a fugly-ass rhino attention-seeking female that gets her kick on having every single man in the game drool and fight over her while her panties probably smell like rhino dick.
Man speaks the truth.
I can't say I've ever heard a voice like that. That literally... Oh, I mean, from what I can tell, this girl just said hello. And that's what he got from it. That's what he got from it. Now. And then she spoke. Hi, Turbo. I miss you. Now, apparently, she called my boy from twos Turbo because she was so bad at the game, she couldn't keep up with dueling world daily quests together. And she would get lost. As in, as he described it, she couldn't control her character enough to efficiently get from one point to another, even while on a flying mount. She was not in Dibs yet, but she would soon join. Now that she was in our vent channel, our twos matches were over for the day, as we could no longer play with her there. You see, she had a massive lady crush on Sandy and made it very well known that she wanted his D. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the truth. Sandy didn't give a fuck. Sandy doesn't care a goddamn bit. He just wasn't having it. He was basically a real-life version of the dude. Super chill, loves talking to people, wasn't a dick, but he didn't give a fuck about trying to find some e-romance. Couldn't give a toss. I did, though. I did, though. And I got some nudes out of the deal eventually. But me being the shallow piece of shit that I was, once the fantasy was broken by actually seeing her naked, I lost interest and never really spoke to her again. That's got to be the truest thing I've ever had on Drama Time. Yeah. She's going to be like a model. It's going to be fucking awesome, man. She's going to be like riding a unicorn and shit. Look at this picture, just some girl in a bedroom. It's like, fair enough. Yeah, that's the fantasy's over. Yeah, the fantasy's over. Fuck. I would like to address your chat at this point. Mike's chat. Please take some pity on the guy you're about to meet. He's a great guy and does not deserve what is about to happen to him. All right? A request. I am not lying. I'll copy and paste it right here. I will copy and paste it. Copy. Je suis le paste. There it goes. See, it is in the story. There it is. Okay. Sometime after these events, she did join dibs and quickly became the favorite of all the thirsty boys. One guy in particular, Rich Campbell. Oh, Rich. A paladin friend of mine. He was a very good guy. A great friend. Good at the game. Just all round nice. But he was a little thirsty. Overly thirsty. It made him pray for her. Before long, every time I would log in, they were together. But alone in a separate vent channel. The same zone in-game doing everything together. One evening, I was at work and my cell phone started ringing. It was a number I didn't recognize, but from an area code where I had family, so I thought it could be a cousin or something, and I answered it. I could hear heavy breathing on the other end of the phone. Hello? And a very angry voice screamed through the speaker, "Yo, bro, you play well, bro. Bro, you play well, though." I shit you not. This is what the guy said. I was a little taken aback as I put on my best confused dwarf accent. What? He asked me what my character's name was and said he is Sarah's husband. He had seen that she had sent titty pics to my number. And he went on to tell me how he was going to come to my house, murder me and everyone I've ever met because of his whore wife sending me titty pictures. That was that. I never heard from him again. But after this, I did notice something. Sarah and Rich hadn't logged on to World of Warcraft for a few days. And then suddenly, Rich posted something on the good book. She's here. My heart is so happy. It turns out that our girl Sarah had straight up left her husband and her children, moved across the country to be with my friend Rich. It had not gone down well. Let's put it that way. The crazed husband had gotten Rich's contact info and was berating him constantly. Texting, emailing, in-game whispering, the whole 9 yards, not letting up. 2 months. 2 months Sarah stayed with Rich. Until one day she said that her father had had a heart attack. Naturally, Rich being the man that he is, broke his bank account, spent his last dollar on a same-day flight to get her home to be with her family to see her dad. I told Rich, after hearing this story, that that's probably bullshit and he should be careful because this seems wrong. Some hours later, Rich got a phone call from Sarah. But it was not Sarah on the line. But her moaning could be heard in the background. It was the husband. He had called Rich whilst balls deep, nuts to butt inside of Sarah. And he said during this moment that he had won. And to this day, I still don't understand what he won. His wife had left him, moved across the country for 2 months to be with someone else, and yet here he is claiming victory at this moment. Rich, of course, heartbroken, and I felt so bad for him. She had lied to him and screwed him into spending every single last dime to his name to help her out. And apparently she told Rich that she was not married, and the guy that called was a stalker, always harassing her since childhood. She also told him that she didn't have any children. It's not all bad though, chat. Chad move. He's nodding his head. That's a Chad move. I mean, this girl who's been cheating on me for 2 months, I win. What a Chad. What a Chad. That's disgusting. What a Chad. It's not all bad though. It's not bad. Rich did meet a different girl in WoW later on, and this time he moved to her. They got married and are still married to this day. But the real sadness is Dibs did not last past the release of Cataclysm. But friendships have endured. I still talk to Rich occasionally and the 3 guys I befriended back in the Burning Crusade. And we see each other as often as possible, as we only live about 120 miles apart. Fucking America, right? 120 miles apart. Oh, it's round the corner. We're planning our Christmas holiday get-together right now. Thank you for hearing my story. And watch out! Sarah might still be out there. And you certainly don't want her Chad fella claiming yet another victory over you. You don't want that to happen. Rich came out top of the end. He did. 4 wonderful stories from our awesome Drama Time audience. I thank you all for sending them. Drama@preachgaming.com is where you send them, for those of you who don't know. And for everyone else. Thank you all for being with me here today. We'll be back on Monday, where we are continuing our Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Jedi Grand Slammered Man playthrough. Hard mode. See me battle the frog for 3 hours. Easy. That's what we'll be doing. And if you missed out on the Outer Worlds, I honestly suggest you check it out. We had a wonderful playthrough of that. It's our Judge Dredd RP. It was a lot of fun. Heroic N'Zoth is back up tonight. As I proclaimed during that video, N'Zoth went so badly that they're going to test it again. I will be testing that at around midnight tonight, my time. So in 7-ish hours from now, I will be testing that. I'll try and do the video for tonight, but if you're in the EU, it's going to be like 3, 4 in the morning before it comes out. So I'll do my best for you to have that out. Hopefully it works out well. Fingers crossed. Other than that, have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say goodbye to you. Do you like to say goodbye? Later. We will get on with some other stuff. Have a great weekend, guys. I will see you Monday. Bye-bye.